Well, hello everyone, good afternoon and welcome to Thoughts at 3. My name is Matt and I'm part of the schools team at Southampton City Mission. As you know, if you've been watching these videos, we normally would be going into schools all across the region, doing assemblies, question of faith days, transition support sessions, prayer spaces and so on. But because of the lockdown and the current crisis, unfortunately we're not able to be doing that right now, but we have been broadcasting these live online Thoughts at 3 assemblies every day, every weekday, Monday to Friday for the past few weeks. I think we're in the middle of week 5 now, and yesterday Ellie did an assembly on or a craft special on prayer bottles. We've got a couple of photos to show you from that in a minute, but whilst you're watching, if you're watching on Facebook or YouTube, why don't you go ahead and say hello in the comments. Put your first name and the school that you know us from maybe in the comments there so that we know you're watching. And if you have a question about today's topic, which is about change, then you can put that in the comments too, and we will do our best later to answer as many questions as we can about change. Now, yesterday, we know there were some technical problems. Hopefully, we won't have any issues today. Please let us know in the comments if you can hear me, if you can see me, if everything's running smoothly. And if not, we'll try and get that sorted out. Ellie has re-recorded yesterday's assembly. We know there were some problems with the sound and with the audio, so Ellie's re-recorded that and has uploaded it, I think, to YouTube, and we're in the process of getting that up on Facebook as well. Yet there was a couple of people who sent us photos already from yesterday, so hopefully I can show you these. This is, let me put that there for you, Caesar and Malachi, and they are making prayer bottles there. I don't know if you can see that. You can see my rings, certainly, my new ring light on my camera. There's Caesar and Malachi, and they're making their prayer bottles yesterday along with Ellie. And they sent a really nice picture of their prayer bottle, which looks like that. Isn't that fantastic? Really lovely blue, SEM blue color, which is fantastic. With lots of sparkly bits inside there, which is fantastic. So well done to you guys, Caesar and Malachi. Caesar, I think, goes to St. Patrick's Roman Catholic Primary School. I don't think Malachi is in school yet, but well done. Maybe he's in preschool. I'm not sure. But well done on the on that prayer bottle, guys. It looks fantastic. Now, someone is telling me that they are having a problem with the sound. So I'm going to try and fix that. Bear with me a moment. Coughing doesn't fix it. I'm just going to switch my my audio, my microphone across. Lucy's saying it's crackly. Let's try this. Is that any better? Let me know if that sound is any better. I've switched the microphone across now, and hopefully that will be better. We'll see. But this afternoon, the assembly is on change. And in the promo, you would have seen this little device here, which is a tube which has got 2 dice inside of it. And, you know, most people know what a dice is. It's a 6-sided object, which is a cube. And these are just normal dice, as you can see here. And it's got some numbers on either side, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, like that. And actually, a little known fact which came up in a pub quiz, not a pub quiz, an online quiz that we were part of last week or the week before, was that the opposite sides of a dice add up to 7 either way. So you've got 2 and 5, 4 and 3, and 1 and 6. The reason I've got that dice is because it helps me to illustrate the concept of change. So, for example, I've just shown you that white dice. I've got a black one inside of the cube, inside of the tube here. And you can see that its numbers are there as well. And my question to you would be, I suppose, is what number, if I was to shake this die, what number do you think would end up on the top there? Some of you might say 1, some of you might say 3 or 4. I did a statistical study in maths when I was doing my GCSEs, and I discovered that actually it's 3 or 4 in that case that came up the most often. Maybe put your bet in the comments now. What do you think? Which number do you think is going to come up when I shake this? Which number will come on top? At the moment, I've put 6 on top, just because that's the highest number on the dice. But if you can write in the comments what you think when I give this a shake in a second, What do you think will be the number that comes on the top there? Pop that in the comments while I'm just showing you the dice. Hopefully we'll have people comment. Okay, so Ellie says 4. That's great. No other guesses at the moment. Oh, Teresa's saying 6. That's a wise guess, Teresa. No one else guess. Oh, Lucy's saying 1. Well, let's have a look. If I give this a shake and we'll see what number comes up. Someone said 8 there. Someone else saying 4. That's good. 8 isn't on the dice, is it? It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or 6. So let's give this a shake and see which number actually we get on the top. Oh, maybe it is 8 after all. We've ended up with 8 little coloured dice: black, white, orange, pink, blue, green, and red. Good afternoon to Becky, who's watching, one of our team leaders. Maybe that's a trick I'll show you how to do, Becky, another time. Well done to whoever guessed 8. Oh, it was Charlie. He's seen me do that trick before. But what that illustrates is the idea of change, and unexpected and sudden change, that suddenly this dice that was there has now changed completely unexpectedly into all of these other little dice. And actually, I can take those out and pour them onto my hand. Oh, lost one. You can see them there. They are, in fact, real little dice. Interesting. Another thing that helps us to think about change, I don't know if you've seen any of these around in your garden yet this year, but we have been growing some. I say not growing really, but actually helping to grow or to change or to go through a metamorphosis. My children got a hold of some caterpillars, and we have been watching them grow and grow and grow, and then they wrap themselves up into chrysalises, and then over the last couple of days they've been breaking out of their chrysalises and turning into butterflies, which is a fantastic and amazing change that something can go through. I've actually got them still in their container here with me. I'm going to very carefully show them to you in a minute. Most of them, or a couple of them, came out 2 days ago on Sunday, and then one came out yesterday, and then my wife Lucy was patiently watching all day for this one remaining chrysalis that was there hanging on the cup lid, still contained inside of its chrysalis. The butterflies still come out, and it was a little bit of a crack starting to show, but she waited all day and had her phone camera set up all day, but unfortunately it didn't come out. She's just been out this afternoon in the garden there, and unfortunately the butterfly came out, and so we all missed it. I missed it as well, but it has definitely happened. But I need to be super careful because this butterfly has literally just come out of its chrysalis. So I'm going to show you them now, and hopefully you can see them. Now what you can see here at the bottom there on the cup lid, that is where the chrysalises were hanging. You can still see them there, the chrysalises hanging off the lid. And then you can see on the edges, you can see the butterflies. There's one butterfly. The one that's actually on the lid is the one that's literally just come out. And you might be able to see on the top here, there's one which is stretching its wings. See it there? Just stretching its wings out. And they're getting ready. There it is. Look, they're getting ready to fly. And we're going to let them out in a couple of days once they all come up to strength. So we've got 5 butterflies in there. They've all made it okay, which is fantastic. I'm just going to gently put those down again. And it's an amazing process to watch, actually. This tiny little caterpillar, no bigger than that really when they first came, grew and grew and grew into a fat caterpillar about that big, wrapped itself up, hung on the top of this lid on a chrysalis, and then has turned into this amazing and beautiful butterfly. I don't understand how that happens. How this change has suddenly happened, this transformation has happened. And I don't know anyone that can explain it, actually, really. It's one of the mysteries of the world as to how something like that can happen. But the fact is that it did happen. It has happened. And I've seen it with my own 2 eyes. And actually, the people who were hanging around with Jesus when he was alive on this earth 2,000 or so years ago, they saw some amazing transformational things happen around him. Everywhere he went, Jesus would change people's lives. People got healed. Some people were blind and then they saw. Some people were deaf and then they could hear. Some people were lame and then they could walk. He even raised people from the dead. He even changed the state of the weather on one occasion. He told a storm to calm down and it calmed down. And these are some fantastic stories. And they might seem incredible, they might seem unbelievable, but actually we believe that the people who saw them at that time wrote them down and recorded them so that we have them to read now if we want to. And whether we believe that they really happened, whether those changes really occurred, is of course up to us. As Christians, all Christians would say that we believe that those things did really happen. And even in the midst of those changes, some people were scared, some people were unsure, some people were anxious, some people were excited. And it's like that with change. You know, we all go through change in our lives, and we're all going through massive changes at the moment because of the current crisis. And our home lives have changed, our working lives have changed. In fact, almost everything about our lives has changed at the moment. And for Christians, we believe that actually God is there in the midst of it all, helping us, working all things together for the good of those who love him. And that's a promise from his word. Actually, we did a session on the Bible last week, and in the Bible it says that God works all things together for the good of those that love him and live according to the calling he has on their lives. And so even in the midst of the storm and the circumstances going on around us might be tumultuous, might be out of our control, actually for Christians, we have a hope, we have a faith in a God who is with us even in those times and can give us peace and rest and grace in those times. Jesus said, anyone who is heavenly burdened, come to me and I can give you rest. And that's how he can change people's lives even today. And so actually what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask Ellie to join us now. Normally we would answer some frequently asked questions at this point in the assembly, but actually today I've just got one question that I'd like us both to answer. And that question is, how has Jesus changed your life? So I'm going to ask Ellie to join us now. Let's see if we can connect her in there. Hi, Ellie.
Hello.
How are you doing today?
Okay.
Sorry?
I hope you can hear me okay. If my volume's okay.
Yes, I can hear you perfectly well, Ellie, and I hope everyone can as well at home. So, Ellie, that question there that we're both going to answer, I'll let you go first, ladies first. How has Jesus changed your life?
That is a brilliant question. Well, for me, I feel really blessed and lucky, actually, because I've had Jesus in my life for as long as I can remember. My mum brought me up going to church, and I've always known about this friend Jesus that I can have. So there's not any major changes of my life before Jesus versus my life after. I can only guess at maybe what life would have been like if I hadn't had Jesus in my life. But what I do know is that actually Jesus still changes me a little bit every day. And the biggest thing that I can think of is how he can change my feelings, my emotions. And for me, there are times when I can be upset or worried or even angry. But I feel that God and Jesus can be in my life in those moments. I read a story about Jesus in the Bible, or I pray to God, and I believe that that changes how I'm feeling. I go from sad to actually feeling a bit of that peace you were talking about. Or if I'm feeling angry, I know that he can help calm me. And there's been times when I've been really worried about things, but actually Jesus has brought joy into my life instead. So he changes my emotions and feelings whenever I feel that needs to happen.
Brilliant. Fantastic. Thank you so much for that, Ellie. Yeah, and for me, actually, it's a slightly different story. So I actually would say that I wasn't a Christian for most of my life and only became a Christian, a believer in Jesus, when I was 28 years old. And so that's 15 years ago this year, in fact. And my life changed dramatically. Actually, I was involved in lots of stuff that was not good for me, hurtful to me and to those around me. But when I believed in Jesus, and I said sorry for the wrong things that I'd done, and I asked him to forgive me, and accepted that forgiveness in my heart, and asked him to fill me with the Holy Spirit so that I could live a different way. I noticed even overnight some things were different. I used to say, I used to have quite sort of naughty words in my vocabulary, things that I probably shouldn't say. And those just dropped out of my vocabulary overnight without me even trying to stop them. I used to do pretty, not very nice things. I was pretty selfish, pretty unkind, and really only thought about myself. But since I asked Jesus to come into my life, actually I started to then think about other people and to put them first. And actually something that I say in schools which I probably shouldn't say, but I do, is that I never used to like children, actually. I really couldn't stand to be around children. I never wanted anything to do with them. And now I work with children every day of my life, going into schools and seeing tens of thousands of children across the city. And of course, I've got my own children as well. And they're just more of a joy to me than I could have ever thought possible. And those changes have only come about in my life, I believe, because I asked God to come and live in me and to change me from the inside out. So, yeah, thanks for sharing that with us, Ellie. And hopefully, for those of you watching now and watching on catch up as well, that explains a little bit about what change means to Christians and how God can change our lives. If you have any questions about change, then please do put them on the comments right now. Whilst you're doing that, we're going to ask Ellie to just tell us about her assembly, which is coming up tomorrow.
Yes, so tomorrow is going to be all about the topic temptation and making choices. So if you do have any questions about that topic, temptation, then make sure you comment them or send us an email. All the information is going along the bottom. But what I will say is the assembly is also going to include something to do with these cupcakes I have just baked this afternoon. So I won't give too much away, but if you want to know what I'm planning to do with those, then join me at 3 o'clock tomorrow. Sorry, Matt, can't reach them through the screen.
I'm trying to get what they look so good. Can I smell
pretty good.
oh yeah, I can smell them from here, Ellie. You know, I'm half an hour away from you by car, but I can definitely smell them. They look delicious.
Very tempting, I think you would say.
Yeah, well, yes, very tempting. I could probably eat at least 3 of them in one sitting if I gave in to temptation. Well, let's just say thanks to Ellie. Thanks so much for joining us this afternoon, Ellie, for telling us how Jesus has made a change in your life. And we look forward to seeing your chocolate cakes in your assembly tomorrow.
See you tomorrow.
Bye. And so for us, we're just going to say a prayer to finish our assembly this afternoon. If you would like to join in and make it your prayer, then you can say amen at the end. If you don't want to, that's fine. But let's just take a moment to pause and to think about our day and about the things that have changed in our day. Maybe your emotions have changed throughout today. Maybe what you thought you were going to do today hasn't happened and something else has instead. Whatever change is going on around you, I believe that actually God can be there in the midst of it with you, helping you if you ask him to. So let's just pray for a moment. Dear God, thank you for sending your son Jesus to come and live on earth as one of us. Help us to know that whatever change we are going through, we can ask you to help us. And you promise to give us peace and grace, even though the situations and circumstances around us may be stormy and beyond our control. Please enable us to help others around us who maybe don't know you but are going through the same or similar changes, that we might be like Jesus to them in the ways that we think, in the words that we speak, and in the things that we do. If you would like to agree, you can say amen. Well, thank you so much for watching today. Rebecca has just commented on the live stream that it was very special to hear how Jesus has changed our lives. So thank you so much for saying that, Rebecca. That means a lot to us. We obviously don't have a long time to share this, so that was just a short part of both of our stories. But yeah, it's a really lovely thing to share. And if you have a story of how Jesus changed your life, actually, then it'd be really great to hear from you as well. Why don't you email us your story of how Jesus changed your life, and we can share that in an upcoming assembly. You can email us there at schools@southamptoncitymission.co.uk. And if you have any of your pictures from the prayer bottles assembly yesterday, and you've made some just like Caesar and Malachi did, and you'd like to show us, then please do also email those to schools@Southampton City Mission, and we can share those on our Instagram. For now, I'm going to head off, and I leave you with the reminder that Ellie will be back tomorrow on Wednesday, the 6th of May at 3 p.m. with an assembly all about temptation and chocolate cake. Stay safe, God bless, and see you soon.